Welcome to the book review of the week. In this segment of our playlists, we review significant books that have had great impact on society and provide a deep understanding of human nature. This week, we look at a book entitled Raila Odinga, an Enigma in Kenyan Politics. Since its publication, the biography Raila Odinga, an Enigma in Kenyan Politics by Babafemi Badejo has, for all intent and purpose, ignited interesting debates on who this man is. Just who is this man, Raila Amolo Odinga? This book significantly unmasks who Raila Odinga really is. An understanding of this book will enable us predict where this man is headed. To gain a strong foothold on the contribution of this book to understanding of Kenyan politics and the man Raila Odinga, let us venture beyond the obvious. To this end, let us direct inquiry into the fairy tale nature of Raila's character in relation to Kenyan politics. Let us begin by looking at the cover of this book. The cover designer incidentally decided to use the image of a lion to describe the man. While this image may have been inspired by the popular understanding of the man as the king of the Kenyan political jungle, however, the image that comes close to describing Raila could have been the trickster in whichever form he appears in Kenyan folklore. Let us explain this by drawing freely from folklore about the tricksters and from Raila Odinga's character. While the lion may get its way through use of brute force, Raila Odinga is a calculating schemer par excellence. This is a characteristic that comes out of the biography and which is associated with the character of the trickster and not the lion. For starters, the trickster is a common figure in oral literature throughout Africa. The trickster has many attributes. In telling these stories to our children, we seem to enjoy the exploits of the trickster and encourage our children to emulate them. And this may explain our fascination with this man, Raila Odinga. Raila phobia is inspired by attempts to deny our attraction to the man, while Raila mania is an overt expression of our subconscious love of his trickster traits. Raila Odinga, like the trickster in folklore, displays many attributes documented in this book. First, he is too trusting. This is evident from the trust he has had for his friends in a number of memorandum of understanding that were never honored. Raila, like the trickster, is practical in his political relationships. When he realizes that he is going nowhere with a certain coalition, he changes course just the way the chameleon does in terms of changing its color. The fact that the man, like the trickster, is courageous is not in doubt. This is a man who dared to be sworn in as the people's president, even when he knew this is treasonable. He is also associated with the 1982 coup plotters. This is something very few politicians can try. On another level, he is a braggart. The other side of Raila's trickster attributes is so appealing. His whimsical dramatics, especially in acting as a football commentator, is to say the least amusing. He is also recklessly impatient. We all remember that famous statement, Kibaki Tosha. Sometimes he acts pakishly irresponsible. Take, for example, when he ridicules other politicians, and yes, his visible desire to show how clever he is by dismissing his opponents as less knowledgeable through parables and proverbs. We may therefore say that Raila's character and behavior represent the subconscious desires of the society which created him. He is also the personification of our desires and fears. Like the trickster, Raila appeals to something within our subconscious. He is what many desire to be, but perhaps they are not. Even his harshest critics cannot deny this fact. They secretly desire to possess a fraction of his hold on followers. Reading this book, one realizes that Raila Odinga operates on multiple levels, just like the trickster in our folklore. The trickster in our folklore is always cast as being combative and rebellious. The trickster operates on multiple levels of signification. On one level, it could stand for any marginalized member of society in a world of hierarchy, size, and weight. All those he is paired with are big and overwhelming in influence and size. When Raila often dares the government on a number of issues, he is acting trickster. As an individual or as a member of the Orange Democratic Movement, he is smaller than the government and the system. At this level, he represents the desires of the powerless, the downtrodden, and the weak. It can also be argued that Raila's rebellious and metamorphic spirit, like that of the trickster, is socially motivated. There is always a need for the underdog to challenge, confront, and even attempt to subvert a system, be it natural or social, that does not recognize him. The overbearing characteristic of the trickster is that he is an intellectual. Thus, underlying the trickster tale is a subtext that appeals to the underprivileged. Raila's story in this biography serves to signify triumph of the underdog. Raila Odinga, like the mythical trickster, is therefore a hermeneut or a source of discourse or critique of cultural life. This book, like the trickster tale, shows the trickster in combat with forces that appear superior. By depicting the vulnerability of those perceived to be strong, the book presents psychological projection of the powerlessness of power. Raila Odinga, the trickster, is constantly depicted as a transformer and a reformer. He is often cunning and tricky. It is no wonder he goes by many nicknames. In the final analysis, he is depicted as a power-seeking member of the society, but only for the common good. In depicting Raila as it does, this book, like the trickster tales, communicates on another subversive level by popularizing the trickster as being pro-people. When this book was published, Many people suggested that Raila Odinga should be charged for treason on account of what is revealed in this book. If anything, the book projects an image of Raila that captures the psyche of many Kenyans. His courage, fearlessness, and whimsical nature appeal to many people. What do we learn about this man, Raila Odinga, from this book? This is a man that can never be wished away when talking about the political future of this country. On that note, we come to the end of this week's book review, in which we took a critical look at the book entitled Raila Odinga, An Enigma in Kenyan Politics by Babafemi Badejo. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my crew, Neka and Pambi, and invite you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Welcome again and again.